Hey guys, this is Bridgette Stilley, and welcome to Be Unfiltered. Today, I'm super excited and honored to have the super talented Derek Gores in the studio with me. Hi, Derek.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being here. I know you're a hard man to track down.
Does that mean I didn't answer your text? I don't know.
Well, you were going out of town. There's a lot. You have a lot going on.
Hopefully, yeah. There's been a little bit of camping, some art shows, some plotting, next art adventures. So
All
here we
kinds
are.
of stuff. Well, here we are, finally sitting here. Thank you so much. One of the reasons why I thought of you and wanted you to be on the couch with me is because I just think you're so talented. I'm not an artist. I can barely draw a circle or a star or a heart. My kids laugh at me all the time. So just, seeing what you do, I find it fascinating. So
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's quite a privilege to be able to, make my living, be able to make art and have enough people who enjoy it and want to take some home that I can, do it again the next day and keep it going.
you're just so humble. So I wanted to talk a little bit how we met. I knew who you were because, you're kind of a big deal in the area, not only in our area, but around. And my friend Erica, Erica Eubanks.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Really good friend of mine. And so she would always say, because Bella, my daughter's pretty talented in collages. And she said, you should have him meet Derek or have her meet Derek. And I thought, well, who's Derek? I looked you up. I was like, wow. So she did one of your art camps
Right.
years ago. I think, when did you start your art camp?
We're 5 years into doing the big summer art camp. We call it Create Your World, and yeah, she must have been one of those early years. We had Erica did a little teaching with us.
She did. She was in her class.
Boom.
And so immediately she collages. So it was super exciting. She loved it. She asked me every summer, can I please go back? And so she's done some really cool collaging. I think I've sent to you.
Yeah.
And I find it so, at first when she came home, I think it was fourth grade, and said, I have this project and I'm going to collage. I was like, what is that? I had magazine pieces and newspaper all over the place, all over the counter. Her dad's, what is she doing? And it ended up winning the entire school district for that year. And it was pretty cool.
That sounds worth it to me. Hey, it's better than like glitter all over your house or something.
Right. So I want to get to know you a little bit more and how you've, come to do collaging.
Sure.
So you're born in New York,
True.
raised?
In Massachusetts, really, till 10 years old in Concord, Mass. Old North Bridge, Paul Revere stuff.
Okay.
There in
I don't get
Concord.
an accent from you.
No, I guess my grandmother got all of it. Somehow, I don't know how it works up there, but parts of the state, I don't know. I didn't get one.
That's funny.
But then we moved down here, 10 years old. My folks had enough of the snow, and we came down here, and Florida, the Space Coast.
You've been here since you were 10.
Correct, yeah.
Wow.
Other than going back up that way for art school,
Sure.
and then lived in Tampa a while, but grew up here. Really went through Surfside and Delora and Satellite High.
You went to Surfside? That's where my kids
Sure,
go.
for sure.
He's a true local. I love that.
That's true.
So when you were a kid, so tell me, you have brothers, sisters?
Yeah, one brother, one sister. My brother's here in town. My sister's up in Philly. Yeah.
Where do you land? Youngest, oldest, middle?
I'm the oldest.
Ah.
Maybe I exhibit some of those qualities. I have no idea.
And so when you were growing up, were you into art? What did you want to be when you grew up?
It was 100% art. I would, after school, my buddy Duke Miller and I would sit at the island of one of our houses and draw like bikes jumping over fire and
Really?
smashing into robots. And
So from
oh yeah,
day one, you were into art.
for sure. I would make up my own Star Wars characters. It was mostly drawing, mostly pencil drawing.
Okay.
But then my folks were florists, and my mom says I kind of grew up in the back room of the flower shop, and I would make stuff out of bins and boxes and wire and things. And
So you were
a little
always
bit of three-dimensional.
creating, doing things. So your parents were florists. That's really cool.
That's right. Yeah, my dad had a Melbourne florist in town here. At one point, he had 5 or 6 shops, but the first one was in Village Shops of Paradise Beach there, where EGAD and MTB and
Oh my
those
goodness.
spots are. Yeah.
That's awesome. I've been here about 18 years, so I don't know if that was here when.
Yeah. I think some of those still exist. Yeah. Ichabod's is still in the same spot for
So
sure.
do you make cool floral arrangements at the house?
Somehow, I know the name of a couple flowers, but I did not hold on to all of it.
That's so funny. So you grow up at 10, you come here, you're still doing art, and you went to the Rhode Island School
Rhode
of
Island
Design?
School of Design.
So
Yeah.
why was that a choice? Is that a big?
Well, it's one of the best in the country. I also missed New England. There's New England roots. So I was, once I got a peek at it, it was kind of, that's where I was going. I did a wonderful pre-college program and got a taste of it. Also, my grandparents were still alive and were out on Cape Cod. So it was a neat way for me to go back to the New England roots.
Absolutely.
And it was a phenomenal experience. I was an illustration major, which is, kind of leaning toward commercial art. And, but yet I had my mind kind of cracked open with abstract art and painting and much more process-oriented art making at those times. And then my first job out of school was creating T-shirt art for the Grateful Dead right there in Rhode Island and Massachusetts.
I might have one of those shirts.
It's possible.
I was definitely a Deadhead back in the day.
That was a very cool first gig. The Dead never wanted a picture of the band as their art, so we got to dig into the metaphors of the song lyrics and dancing skeletons and bears, and roses and weirdness and surrealism and optical illusions.
Oh my goodness.
And that, all of that. It's only a year and a half that I worked there, but
how do you land that cool of a job right out of school? Do you just...
I had a friend or two who already were playing around in that world, and it's that good of an art school too. So I followed a lead or two and made a pitch or two, and I actually remember I rented a computer at that time in order to, for 2 weeks, in order to get a portfolio together and started doing my hustling.
Oh my goodness. So what was the dream in college, like the dream job, or what were you thinking?
Well,
be in galleries or work, what was it?
I didn't think of galleries while I was still in school. I distinctly remember before college or around age 18 when people would ask me, what are you going to do with this? Because clearly art was my passion and my unique thing. And I can remember that I would just say, gosh, I want to draw somehow. I want to make art, but I didn't know what form it would take. If I had to guess, sometimes I was thinking maybe it's children's books or something, but no. But I turned the T-shirt job for the Grateful Dead. Then it became a T-shirt job over in Tampa for sports, for the NFL and Major League Baseball and JCPenney's and big department stores were the clients. I ended up working there for, I think, 14 years. Learning, the biggest thing I learned there was how to control the art, which is maybe the hardest thing, is take this genie in a bottle thing and the magic of making art, but to be able to, do it on a deadline and be able to.
Well, and they're telling you what we want. So is it
only sort of?
You're still able to be creative and put your spin on it.
Yes, yes, because they weren't necessarily telling us what to do. I had to with any art, you got to open up the possibilities and make, even for JCPenney's, even for the NFL, they need new things. They need new and exciting interpretations. And yet you had to be able to control it enough. For example, in that case for the NFL, we had to, if I made a cool idea for the Dallas Cowboys, I had to then be able to make an equivalent cool piece for all the other teams that would kind of fit a similar description. So I had to be able to learn how to conceptualize as wide open as possible, but then be able to solve the problem for other teams.
Really cool and fascinating.
It was cool. It was
14
hard
years. That's amazing.
Yeah, I stayed there a long time. It was.
And that was it. So you lived in Tampa,
right?
Okay.
And maybe it was. It sometimes it felt like too long. And when am I going to? I had a friend or two who were like, T-shirts forever? Are you going to use T-shirts forever? So
If it pays the bills.
I mean, sure, but I was
And it
craving
keeps
more, and I
you-
didn't know what the next step was.
Sure.
But finally, at age 37, I did go for it and moved back here. It's very fortunate, probably, that there was not an equivalent job here, or I might still be at that job.
Doing that job.
Honestly,
So along the way, you have 3 kids. You met
That's
your
right.
wife. So tell me where you met your wife.
Yeah, so my first wife over there. We lived in Tampa. Yeah, so with her, I have 3 daughters. Yep. They're Molly, Allison, and Catherine. They're between 21 and 30, so they're all grown up. But
Doing their thing.
doing their thing. I coached them in soccer, and we made art together. And they still all are creative.
That's what I was going to ask too.
for sure.
And I asked you earlier, is it hereditary?
I think. I mean,
my kids are artists, and I'm not, but their dad was. So I think, where did they get that from?
My dad went to art school, and my dad, his version became being a florist. But when you're creative, and when you grow that muscle of creativity, you use it everywhere and anywhere. So for him, it was being a florist. But yeah, some of it is in my blood and the DNA, but then some of it is just what you make of it or where you take it. So yeah, my girls use their creativity. Some, the youngest is actually in art school up in Philadelphia, and she's finishing that up, but making sculpture and furniture and making stuff out of wire. She's very 3-dimensional, where I'm very 2-dimensional. All of them using art, whether it's painting, whether it's creating events. My oldest, Molly, she uses her creativity to make events for pets. Actually, she works.
Really?
At this dog sitting,
Like with costumes?
pet resort kind of stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Like photo
That's
ops
so
and
awesome.
stuff.
I'm going to have to know about that.
Yeah.
I have two little nuggets at home.
Right.
And I know I did meet, one of your daughters at the camp, and then I did one of your workshops. My daughter said, come do a workshop. It's a mother and daughter thing, and it was fun. I had a great time. I can't wait to go back. It was challenging because, like I've told you, I don't think I'm this type of artist. I am creative in other ways. I think we all are. But when it comes down and putting it together, I'm just like, what?
Well, when we did the workshop, did you enjoy the feeling of ripping up paper and putting it together?
I was excited to
Here's one of mine here.
try to put it together, So it was interesting picking all the pieces out. And then where I find I struggle is like putting the shoe together. I mean, that's incredible. I can just stare at that and just think, you make it look so easy, and it's not.
Well, thank you. I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed the feeling. And when I do these workshops, I love inviting people back to art. Most people, I learned as my kids were going through school that at 5 years old, everyone is an artist, everyone's a dancer, a singer, and then it kind of gets squished out of you, squeezed out.
Sure. Like
Peer pressure
music,
and worried that they're not good enough with something, but people are willing to come back to it, or they're craving it. I've learned to kind of see it in people's eyes when they
get
miss
excited.
that expression. So yeah, I mean, these collages, they're my way of being present and being. So the feelings you described of it, sort of being hard and challenging, I mean, they are for me too. And I like them sort of barely coming together. I like how it feels for the brain to try to make sense of the picture, but it's not all there,
Tell me how you got into, because you talked about T-shirt design and all the things you've done. When did you hone in on collaging?
When I took that leap at age 37,
Like a year ago, 37.
Right. I gave myself a list of some things that I wanted to try. That I had spent 14 years doing commercial art and art directing, but now I wanted to go for it and see what I'd learned and see what felt like me. And I had a list of things, and one of the things on the list to try that I hadn't done really some of them since college was collage. And when I made a few pieces, it felt great to me. It felt great to me, but also I found that I was able to get a response, and people enjoyed the art, experiencing the art with their eyes like I do. And I sold some pieces, and it felt, it was a click between me and the piece and the
It's
the
amazing
collectors and the
how
audience.
the shadow, that is so neat. In the cup, it's like 3D. It's just so cool. I love it.
I give
And
my
that's just like, okay, so how long does it take for you to do that?
a little piece like this that isn't a portrait. I can do one of these in a day. Sometimes a couple of them. I usually work on a few to kind of keep myself confused a little bit and
Okay.
keep it hard and weird. And a big thing for me is that when I was that teenager, when I would draw with the pencil, I was very in control of the art. I
Okay.
knew what I was going to do, and it was about how to make the senses follow my hand. But eventually, I was like, all right, how do I make something more open and more thrilling the whole time I'm working on it? And I found that in collage, I can control it a little bit, but most of it is being open to the interpretation. Like,
Sure.
behind us, we have these butterflies.
And it
Each-
probably evolves, right? As you're doing it,
Oh, absolutely.
you're just whole time.
Yes.
And I feel like just getting to know you, like that just gives all your senses, and you're so stimulated. Does it stimulate you? Do you just get excited? I feel the
Absolutely,
energy when you
yeah.
talk
Even
about it.
some of the best things happen with the last pieces that go on the art. Got one other one. I make a lot of portraits. These kind of, feminine. These heroines here. This, like in this piece, I love things like
I see a million things.
this little statue and these letters and optical patterns. The one rule that I give myself is to not use the literal texture. So I'm not going to use hair to make her hair or skin to make her skin.
Okay,
I like it to be something else entirely. And so that's what makes what I think is a kind of a pleasing confusion of what you see from far away versus what you see up close.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
And I like them to just barely. You asked me how long. Yeah, the little ones I can do in a day. A portrait can take several days. Big pieces can take a week or two. But I try to work quickly, and I try to have them happen in one containment of energy if possible. I don't let them stretch over months or.
You don't go
like
back to it.
That's pretty rare. I don't want them to. I want them to be. The senses can see it in an instant. We take in the world in an instant, and I want the art making to be like that too, if possible.
Absolutely. So you've done some pretty cool stuff for some pretty cool people.
Yeah.
Tell me about Madonna.
Madonna, that was freelance music merchandise design. I did some stuff for a tour, some T-shirt designs for
Okay.
a tour. Those were cool. I love all the stuff 80s. So a lot of the bands I've gotten to work with.
I mean, it's our era.
For sure.
Right? So Madonna, that's Lenny Kravitz.
True. I got to do a couple of cool kind of exaggerated pencil drawings of him that then were used again for merchandise design for a tour of his.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And we've probably all seen all this stuff.
Maybe, let's see. I'm trying to think I think the Madonna stuff went out on tour. I don't know if the Lenny Kravitz stuff did. Sometimes you got to design stuff and then nobody got to see it.
You too?
That was also some T-shirt design stuff. All three of those that you just mentioned don't even have my signature on them because they weren't collages.
Oh, I
They
see.
were music, they were T-shirt designs.
Is there anybody else that? I
Let's
mean,
see,
I'm sure the list goes down, but
well-
what was something that came across your desk or email or phone or whatever it was, pager back in the day, that you thought, wow, like this is my moment, or you feel like, I don't know if making it makes makes
Yeah,
that is
sure.
a thing.
Well, I did, remember TLC?
Oh yeah,
That was a
don't
collage.
go chasing waterfalls.
Yep. That I did their 20th. Was it 20 years? It was called 20. It was like 20 greatest hits. I think it was at the 20th year as well. Little thing with that. So that was a collage. That was for the cover of the album, and then another collage on the back.
I'm gonna have to go look that up.
Look that up.
That is
Here's
so
one
cool.
little nugget about that is, I love using scraps of paper that are meaningful. And so in that case, I think that was through Sony, and I asked them, do you have anything from the ladies, any handwritten lyrics, any nuggets, any archival stuff? They weren't able to get anything, but I just felt like I needed the lyrics to Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. So I hand wrote them myself in my best curly Q cursive that I could come up with, and that showed up in the artwork.
Oh, that's cool. That's really neat.
Other ones, let's see.
We're all gonna go check that out for sure.
You should do that. I got to make the Kentucky Derby official artwork a bunch of years ago. That was great fun. Got to go to the Derby, and one of my girls and my mom and my wife Cassandra, we got to go. They got to wear the hats and go to the Derby.
What an experience!
Yeah.
How cool!
I did. I got to make a portrait of President Obama right as he was inaugurated. That was for part of a. There was an exhibit that a lot of creatives, a lot of artists entered, where you were having to work with the concepts of the moment, healthcare reform and sustainability, and all of the art had to somehow incorporate his portrait. I made his portrait, and
was it collaging?
It was collaging.
Wow.
It was using elements from speeches about healthcare reform. And then a neat thing is, well, somebody bought the piece of art. I don't know who, but I always assume it was probably Oprah. I hope.
We'll say it's Oprah.
Yeah.
Oprah bought it.
And then I did make
Oprah's watching, just so you know.
Hey, Oprah. I did make some
Hey,
prints.
girl, you're next.
I did make some prints of the artwork, and this was cool, is his Marine One helicopter pilot, she got the first print. When I shipped it to her, just being assertive, I said, you know what, here's an extra one in case you're able to get the president's autograph on it for me. And she did and sent it to me, and he signed it right by the word love in the collage. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's pretty amazing. And now is that at the gallery? Or where do
I
you have that? Is that special?
Climate controlled somewhere.
Which
might be in a
undisclosed.
closet at home.
It's not in the closet. It's hanging up over the fireplace.
Not the signed one, but and then one other one that people talk about is when Hugh Hefner died. I was commissioned to make the cover tribute issue of Playboy. And that was pretty cool.
That's really cool.
That was pretty cool, but
that was not on the internet.
It's there.
It's there.
It's there. I guess you got to type in Playboy.
Which I wouldn't have done. You've done so much. You just lived this fascinating, very cool. You've done so many great things. And what I admire about you is that you give back to your community. Since I've lived here, I'm from California. The downtown Eau Gallie was kind of desolate when I was here. I don't remember, just didn't seem there was much. I came from San Diego, so I was real used to vibrant, fun little downtowns. And I thought, my EJ, my husband at the time, said, "Oh, this used to be so great and it was so fun." So it was downtown Melbourne, which where everybody was going. And then all of a sudden, things started to change, and now it's the art. I don't know if it was always the art district. But you're such a big, I follow you on Facebook and all the things, and you're such a big part of the community. And you're always sending me a message like, "Oh, we're doing this or we're doing that." So where do you find the time and to do all this? And what drives you? Just tell me a little bit about what's going on in the district.
Well, first of all, when I moved here in 1980, 81, my folks got me signed up in the art museum school that was there. We lost the art museum, but But still, right, right from the foods, yeah, right. So right from 10 years old, that's where creativity happened, and it happened for me, and gave me, a piece of the ladder to continue pursuing art. So when I moved back here, I think I arrived on a Saturday, and on the following Tuesday, I had lunch with Fritz van Eden, one of the big artists of the time there.
I think my in-laws had some pieces.
Sure,
They're
sure.
glass pieces, right?
He made some sculptures, but also especially painting.
Yes.
So, but also, I mentioned my dad before. I watched how my dad in his strip mall there in Indialantic, collaborated with his neighbors to make a buzz and to enjoy working together. So, I love that collaborative power of art, and so that includes everybody in the district. So we do lots of collaborating. I'm on the board of the EGAD Main Street. And I don't know. It's just, I'm an introvert, really. I think most artists are, because the making of the art is a solitary, digging into yourself kind of thing. But I saw how art helps people, whether it's mental health side of, I already said, I think that art helps you express things that words just can't. So, the healing and the making and the expressing of yourself through art is a big thing. And I've also found it extra vital. I don't like the national tone that is out there and has been for the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. It's toxic and harmful and divisive. Art is a place where when you see art, you can't help but notice the humanity of one person's touch.
Sure.
So I think art helps connect people and helps to grow some empathy, and so there's that part of it. And also, art is just art is storytelling. So art is like marketing if you want to get more economic about it. So I get involved with the Melbourne Chamber and all, different events and stuff.
Got a hand in a little bit of everything. What time do you wake up in the morning?
Pretty early. I'm a 6 or 6:30 a.m. I don't require a lot of sleep.
Oh, really? You're one of those?
Yeah, I'm one of
See,
those.
if I don't sleep, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
I feel really out of sorts. I don't know how people are like, I slept 3 hours. What?
So my wife Cassandra and I, we got that building a few years ago, and now we have a proper place to be my art gallery, which also now has the miniature golf layer in it.
The miniature golf, and then you have the
store, which is Rocky Water
so cool. Which is
we got to show some of these.
Show some of these. So
these are local posters that we do where it's like vintage flavor. But adapted to local content, rocket fuel and space. This is one of the first ones we did. I found love in Palm Bay.
I love that. It's so funny.
The launch woke me up. What woke you up?
Send more realtors. Yeah. I actually have this one.
Good,
my friend Melissa got it for me because of the scorpions, I married a scorpion.
For sure.
So I have that.
Seduced by the Vieira roundabout.
Oh, the roundabout. So you're talking about
the rotary circle thing. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
All of these are like trying to lovingly poke fun at all the, the local details of life.
I just love how you keep it very local. And every time I'm down there, I go get a coffee at Anaya. I see the store. I go there for really cool Christmas. Or if I need something kind of eclectic, it's just fun to walk around your place. I think you've done an amazing job.
Thank you.
You're going to continue to do big things. Where do you see your future? Where do you see the future of the district? What's your goal?
Yeah. I mean, as you know, Eau Gallie was its own town until, I think, 1969. It was absorbed into Melbourne, and it kind of had hard times after that when it lost its own infrastructure, essentially. But art is now its story. All kinds of art, between the craft brew at Intracoastal and Anaya with their cool coffee, and the bit of fashion with Standard Collective,
Nomads,
and so all the people
cool.
there are creative, and we cultivate that vibe. Within our own place, I make the two-dimensional stuff, And my wife Cassandra kind of is wildly creative in every other dimension. She brings like the cool crochet stuff, and we carry yarn in the store, and she makes all the apothecary goods, great scents, and what we try to we carry professional grade art supplies, but also kind of gateway creativity, puzzles, and local humor to honestly to just invite people in on the creativity. And there's just more of that coming in the district as well. We have Dolly's Wine Bar that just opened.
Which is amazing.
What
I
a,
went
what a vibe.
to the like the soft opening.
Yep.
I felt like I was in New York.
Right.
I looked around, and I've been twice now, and I don't go out past 8. I'm in my pajamas, and it's such a cool vibe in there.
What they did with the windows to just make a whole Wes Anderson tint to everything.
See, I don't even know that because like you are there, you probably see more, but it's such a cool the bathroom. I was taking pictures in the bathroom.
Yeah, it's a whole mood.
Yeah, it's very fitting. So you have First Friday, right?
True. We always do a first Friday of the month where there's live art happening on the street. I know we have a big Deck the District, which is in mid-December. I should have written it down, but it's in my head somewhere. But so you're right. The district is a place to get local, to feel local, to buy something handmade. Lots of local art in our spaces. I'm excited. With my own art, I'm coming out with some in addition to the canvases and reproductions, we have some exciting things I'm going to unveil in a couple weeks.
Can't wait.
A little me fashion, a little me maybe some paperweights and some other silly stuff.
How fun.
I'm hopefully going to get Tony from Standard Collective to make some cool wallets that have my flavor in them. So that's fun. I get to act like a brand a little bit.
Well, I mean, you kind of your own brand. You are a brand.
I'm trying.
You're a big deal.
I had to years ago. I had to go into the bank and tell them I had to change my signature to be more artsy but still legible. So yeah.
So tell me, what would be your advice to just a young artist or someone that is thinking about, this is what I want to do with my life?
Gosh, well, again, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that my parents supported what I wanted to do, not knowing what it would become. I went to art school with a lot of folks who maybe aren't practicing art directly right now, but they all the ones I know of, they still value the creativity that they learned and now apply it in whatever field they're in. So, but as far as art, for the parents out there, art is good for everyone, no matter what your field might be. Art is where you foster that outside of the box thinking that helps you in any field. I promise you that. But what do? You draw and you make stuff. Whatever the artist's job is to make whatever you are compelled to make. That's your job, even if it's a lot of things. Sometimes artists feel like, well, gosh, I'm all over the map. Just do that. Make that. It'll settle through the years. I mean, I had to make a lot of pieces before I had to unlearn my influences a little bit until it became more and more my own hand. But sometimes I like to say to people, find out what your own unique hands want to make. There's something in there, and it's useful. I have some classes. People could come take some things.
And I've been to one, and
workshop.
I will come back. I will get a group. We brought some wine, I think, and some charcuterie, and made it a night. Definitely.
We do a thing called Dr. Sketchies. Have I sent you that message before?
If you have, I can't recall.
It's been a while. We're going to do one though. We're doing one for the holidays. Dr. Sketchies is the classic life drawing thing that artists get to do, where you've got a model of some kind. But with Dr. Sketchies, there's costume and character and lights and sound. We might be doing a hunky Santa, young Santa before the beard turned white, maybe. So we're trying to pull that off.
That's exciting. I just love how you're so creative and fun, and I thank you so much for being here. I could talk to you for hours. There's that brain of yours that's going on in there. It's just interesting. I think you're doing wonderful things. My daughter, when I told Bella that I was talking to you today, she said, "Oh, I love him."
What would she ask? I wonder what she would We could have had her
Oh yeah,
throw in a
yeah.
question or
She's because she has that collage brain too, or brain, I don't know, but she loves it. Believe that that's what you do, for a living. And so does I know you do a lot more than that, but it's nice to have somebody that's young that hey, maybe I can do art. It's not just something I take a class at school. It's something that if I'm really good at, I can pursue it. And I think you're a testament to that you can, pursue it, make it a career, and just keep, using that side of your brain. I think
Yeah,
it's pretty
thank you.
amazing.
That makes me think. It reminds me of maybe another answer I'd like to give to your question about what should people do if they're, to pursue art, pursue creativity. I like to encourage people to try to bring all of their favorite things of their life into one space. Like, take what else you know about and see if you can bring it into your art. If you know about tennis, or you know about hiking, and you know world history or something, see about bringing that into the art, and you might enjoy how the parts play together, and how the depth of knowledge might influence the art, and may also help you find other people who dig it. And I've learned that when somebody wants a piece of art, it's partly because of what the picture looks like, but it's also partly to have a piece of the magic, or the piece of the moment that the art was created in, like the passion behind it. So I think it matters. Like, I do not think at all about what sells. I was thinking about that this morning. I just don't. I make what I want to make, and that passion and purpose is part of what people
Are attracted to.
I
Because
think.
if you were just driven by making a dollar, I think it would show.
Yeah.
And when I look at your art, I just see so much. It's like an explosion of creativity. And when I can look at this 100 times and probably see 100 different things. And it tells these crazy stories. I'll see something that I didn't see before, and it's just really, really, really neat. And I envy that. I've tried. I did my butterfly, and I still have it. It's really cool. So I thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to take a workshop and come back, and with friends, family. Keep doing what you're doing, and
I will.
awesome. Well, thank you so much.
See you in the Arts District.
See you in the Art District.
Thanks, everybody.